Hi, welcome to the Gen X Glam and Gab channel here on YouTube. It is great to see everyone, whether you're new, whether you're coming back. Thank you so much for hanging out, because I know that there are a lot of choices out there, and you're hanging out with me in my tiny, tiny, tiny little slice of YouTube, where I do a little bit of glam and a little bit of gab and a lot of get ready. So we need to get into it, because I'm getting ready on my way to work. Don't want to miss my ride, so I need to pick up the pace if I'm not already going fast enough. Today, showcase, preview what's coming in the next couple of videos, lots of show and tells. I've been picking up my mail since I've been on vacation, and a lot of cool stuff has come in. Charlotte Tilbury, Elf, and I totally forgot I did Sephora order. Because I don't normally do a bunch of Sephora orders, because I'm always a pretty big fan of, get it directly from the brand, because they run gifts with purchases. They run, specials, especially if you're your first time ordering somewhere. You can usually get a pretty good deal. Anyway, from Sephora, I forgot I've ordered one of their Sephora fave sets. Now, my criteria for ordering Sephora fave set is, have I tried, is there 30%, am I only getting a 30% repeat? Like, that's kind of my percentage. Is 70% new and 30% is something like I've tried already? That's my bar. So I got this set and prep set, and a lot of the stuff on here I have never used. I haven't used these First Aid Beauty kind of face refresher wipes. The Pore Professional Primer, I think I have tried that, but in a mini, which is what's in here. Glow Recipe Serum, have tried it, but not in this particular, unless they've changed the packaging. The Glow Recipe Serum, like watermelon dewy-esque serum, I've tried in the past, was in a much pinker package. Maybe this is their deluxe size packaging. A Mario, Makeup by Mario setting spray, I've not tried that. The Danessa Marks, did I say that right? I never remember how to say it. Danessa Murix. This is like a face balm, blurring balm down here. I have tried that before. Not a fan. I'm not going to demonstrate that today, but we're going to use pretty much everything else. Summer Fridays, like dewy sort of face refresher mist. Really nice. Gives a really nice glow. From the brand Topicals, like a minty lip salve. I need another lip balm. Like, I don't know. I don't really, but I just I know you're out there, folks. I know many of you are a sucker for the lippies too. So here we go. A Merit moisturizer, which I do not have. I've tried the Merit serum, and I'm going to use my Merit contour stick today. Tower 28 SPF 30 sunscreen. Not going to use that today, but I do love my Tower 28 tinted sunscreen in the shade Melrose. I brought that recently with me on vacation, and I used it almost every day. And I'm not a big fan of these, bronzy drops. I've tried them in Elf. I've tried them in Drunk Elephant. I've tried them from Charlotte Tilbury, but Isle of Paradise bronzer, the best, and it says it's a serum. The best thing to do with these things is add them to a moisturizer. And, I did that yesterday, and I didn't think my look turned out too bad. It was a very glowy look yesterday, because I did try to use all this stuff. Also, in that same Sephora haul, I bought a new under eye cream to buy. It's a Revive Eye Serum. It's got ginseng and retinol. I'm not usually a big fan of retinol, but ginseng is such a brightening ingredient, and I really, really like it. I don't know the brand name. Can't say it. I also got a hair mask, because I have such fine hair, and it's always kind of dry and breaky. That's why I keep getting it cut until I can get to a healthy length. But I got from the brand Briago a superfood hair mask. It smells so good. It has guava in it. I don't know. I'm anxious to use it. As an offer, because I spent over $35, I got a travel hair and shampoo set. You always got to look for those offers. That's the thing. When you go on Sephora, 100 rewards points doesn't get you much. The cool stuff for 500 and 700 and more is always sold out. So what I like to do when I go on Sephora is at least spend $35, and I did in this case. And then you can go in and see what they're offering. If you buy over $35 or even over $25, sometimes there's always an offer, and it's separate from their Bazaar rewards. The last thing from Sephora is I tried the Kosas Cloud Set. Gets such good reviews out there. It's a very light pink setting powder, kind of baked vibe. It's one of these like raised oval guys. I used it the other day, and it's just so light. It didn't do much for me, and I'm pretty fair skinned. When I put that there, I mean, I was like putting tons on my brush, and I still couldn't get it off. When I put it up against something like Sephora's, look, you could just see the difference. Like I don't need full translucency, but I don't want cakey achy. And so like something like in the Sephora brand, the Sephora world is a little bit better. So what am I going to do with this? It does take away the shine. So I think that there's a way to sort of, a time and a place sort of in the process to use both of those types of setting powders. Speaking of setting powders, I didn't show you the star of the show. The star of the show that came in the set and prep. LYS. I don't have a lot from LYS. I have like a couple lippies. I've tried the blushes. I've tried the creamy contour sticks. Like LYS a lot, but quite some fallout from yesterday. A setting powder, and it's in a very light shade. I really liked it yesterday. So I'm getting brave. Where's my Charlotte Tilbury? I mean, I'm pretty faithful to my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush finish setting powder, and it will probably always remain my fave. But I'm getting a little bit more adventurous in the setting powder genre, if you will. All right, let's get into this. We have to speed through it. You're just going to have to watch. Now you've seen all the products, so I don't have to show them again. I'm just going to get to it. Starting with the First Aid Beauty, the little refresher wipes. You know where's a good place to look for, and the idea with these is just on a clean face. You just go all over. I did this yesterday. I always get my ears too. Don't forget your neck. The place to look for First Aid Beauty stuff, it's a really fantastic brand, and it's a Sephora brand, but the place to look is Ipsy. Every once in a while, Ipsy's got some really good First Aid Beauty stuff in there, either in their add-ons or they throw it into their various tiers of subscription boxes. So it's just a good place to keep an eye out. I think I have some Ipsy coming up. Charlotte Tilbury I need to show you. So Charlotte Tilbury's latest thing is that she's reformulated her Magic Cream. I don't know how many of you are tracking that. Like, her Magic Cream is her quintessential product that, before she was an empire, before she was a beauty empire, and she was just like a celebrity makeup artist, she had tweaked her own formula of this cream that she thought brought models' faces back to life, because models are just getting their hair, their skin, their everything just gets put through the ringer for the sake of beauty, right? And so she came up with this fantastic cream that all the models were screaming for, marketed it, blah, 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 started her empire. So, I mean, it's like, why, if it's not broke, why fix it? But apparently, this is what I've heard. One of the ingredients one other thing I got in Sephora. I got a liquid blush from Say. I'm not quite sure why I pulled the trigger on this, but I've been using it, and it's not, and I kind of like it. It's a little bit thick for a creamy blush, but I like that. Then just means like a dab will do you, and it just diffuses out. It's kind of like the color that I like, the mauve rose. Anyway, so Charlotte Tilbury's got a new Magic Cream formula out. What I got from the magical Charlotte Tilbury is a set, the Love Look set. I've talked about this thing. There's a heart-shaped bag, and then there were like 7 mystery products, and I'm going to share those, not today because I got to get going. Just letting this, it's like, as I set and I prep, my face is going to look pretty wet. Okay, but I did the whole thing yesterday, and the good news is nothing pills. All of this different stuff, it's surprising that nothing is going to pill. All right, here's going in with the Summer Fridays mist. So one of the things in the Love Look bag from Charlotte Tilbury, which took forever to get here, I thought it was completely lost. I can't believe it actually arrived. Is she gave away a 30 ml Magic Cream, and I thought that in and of itself, the value of that made the whole thing. Like I wanted to restock anyway. So that made me pull the trigger on the bag, but the bag is like really cool. The whole gift set, and the fact that it was like one of her mystery sets just really intrigued me. Really wanted me to go all in. All right, we're going in with the Topicals a lip salve. Let me tell you, I used this yesterday. It is very minty. It gave a really nice, I felt like my lips got like they're like a total spa treatment, but it is a little bit, there's a tiny, tiny tingle, which I'm not a huge super fan of. So there's some ingredient in Charlotte Tilbury's Original Magic Cream, which might not be compatible for like EU standards anymore. And so she's reformulated. She's saying like the new Magic Cream is facelift in a bottle. And this all makes sense in the Love Look bag, why she was throwing in a 35 milliliter of her Magic Cream. She never does that. She's got to get rid of the stock, right? She has to get rid of the stock. All right. Oh, this is my theory. It's my working theory. All right, let's go in with the Glow Recipe Dewy Serum. It has a lovely watermelon scent to it. I do like this. When this, like years ago when I started this midlife makeup crisis collection journey, I did have a full suite of Glow Recipe products. They just look so natural. I got suckered in by all the fruity promises of the brand. The packaging just so sleek and clean looking. Brand has a really nice story to it. The founders were just sitting around drinking some wine and were like, why don't we do this? And they came up with the Glow Recipe line and built themselves a little empire. And I'm pretty happy with most of the stuff that I buy from Glow Recipe. So that is just like a really nice dewy serum. Like, doesn't my face look so wet? Totally. All right, let me just keep pressing that in. And I have like an e.l.f. bag. While that sits, why don't we just skip totally around and see what I got from e.l.f. Because, man, I should go on vacation more often for many reasons. By the way, I'm feeling better. And by the way, Sylvia, her mailman, bless his heart, tracked down her package from the post office, and Sylvia got it, and Jen L got hers. She told me on Discord. So I'm just super tickled pink that despite, if you gotta watch my last video to understand like why is she talking about mailmen and packages. Well, the last 3 giveaways I sent out whilst on vacation in Las Vegas, while I was fever pitched at the post office, yeah, things went a little bit Twilight Zone-ish, and packages were missing out there. But I'm happy to say everybody's got them, so that's cool. All right, what did I get from e.l.f.? Oh, I wanted to try. So these are their new concealer, $4 concealers. This is the brightening. So this is like a peachy vibe to it. Creamy, lightweight feel. It's the Soft Glam brightening one. Let's see. Why did I get another? I think I already have one of these. This is like the light peachish blush, liquid blush. I don't know, maybe. Oh, yay. More of these. These are when the airlines lost my luggage when I went on vacation and I had to go to CVS and repurchase some things. One of the things I bought were some little e.l.f. hybrid spongy beauty blender / powder puffs. So little restock, which is great because I need to wash the ones that I bought for vacation. But what was I saying? I need to go on vacation more so that when I come back and get my mail, I'm like, oh, I forgot I ordered that. What did I get? A couple eyebrow pencils, the micro fine brow pencil. Looks like I got it in 2 different shades. This is like a whoopsie daisy, a new drop. I think we might try one of these today. I'm currently like using the e.l.f. brow pencil, which is not a micro tip, that I bought on vacation when I needed to buy a couple of things when the airlines lost my stuff for 3 days. So this is new from e.l.f. supposedly. Wow. So the question is going to be with this micro tip is it going to break off? That's the beef I have with Kosas. That's the beef I have with, just broke off. Who's going to figure out, at least if it breaks off from e.l.f., it's only costing you a couple bucks. And my pressure is light. I'm holding at the very bottom I'm doing a very light pressure. That tip's lasting longer than other ones have. But if you're going to buy a micro tip brow pencil where the tip might just like snap off with like the lightest amount of pressure, you might as well buy one from a brand like e.l.f. where it's not going to break the bank. So we need to try hard. Need to try hard with that a little bit more in the future. All right, did I get another tap and blend? No, this was like I used my reward points, I think, to get this. This is a high points highlighter brush. And I haven't tried this yet. I've showcased this before in my last e.l.f. order because I think I added it on with e.l.f. points, or it was one of the minis that was available. If you spend over $35 on e.l.f., you can usually add on some decent sized minis. This is the Bright and Beautiful eye cream. And then it looks like I got another lip mask. This is going in the giveaways. I need to put together another giveaways, but man, I am like giveaway head shy after, you know, some of the trials and tribulations I've had since I've moved to Sweden getting my giveaways out. It's not an easy feat. Something else I have to share too is my spring box from Fab Fit Fun. And I got like a free I canceled and came back. If you cancel and come back, they usually offer you like something. And so I got a couple extra goodies from Fab Fit Fun for canceling and coming back. So that's all coming up. Let's get into the Merit moisturizer. Like I said, I've used, oh, that might be too much. I've used Merit's serum before and not super fave, wouldn't really repurchase it, but it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not my fave either. All right, so what I'm going to do with this bronzer, the bronzer serum, is just mix a little bit in. This is going to be more than enough because, like I said, tested all this stuff out yesterday. Oh, before we do that, let's go ahead and put on some of the Pore Professional primer. And that's going to be more than enough to cover my face. This reminds me of the Photo Finish. Goes on very matte and it's very blurring. I mean, Pore Professional, how do I feel about it? One time I got talked into buying their like Pore Professional gelatinous sort of moisturizer. I was just going to look at a brow pencil at Sephora. This was like in my early days and I was a total noob. And this rep from Benefit was there and they talked me into it. And it was a waste of $35 or $40 or whatever. This was before I found the magic green, by the way. Yeah, it just has like a Photo Finish matte kind of vibe to it. And it did nothing pilled. So there's that. Let's, I know, we're still hanging out here. I got to put on my under eye cream because I want some of that ginseng vibe. I've used this too. Look, I hate that. That looks like such an off-putting color. But it really, it's the retinol in it. But it doesn't go on. It just like, I'm always like, am I going to get a jaundice look? Sometimes, yeah, the things we worry about. Clown face, jaundice. Anyway, it goes on. It blends in really nice. And I'm trusting the process. I'm trusting the ingredients that ginseng is going to do what it's supposed to do. I don't know. With eye creams, even though it's like an eye cream, they're usually such thinly delicate formulated products. I drag them around the other sensitive areas of my face, which for me is right up here at my hairline, around my nose and lip contour area, and inside my cheeks where I have like super, super redness. Yeah. So anyway, I was telling you something, and when I rewatch the video, I'm going to remember where I was going with it before I forgot to put on the primer and my eye cream. All right, let's go. Yesterday, when I was offline experimenting mad scientist style, I just used a Q-tip and I mixed that Merit moisturizer with the tint serum. And you know what this is going to give? Guys, this is going to give a Glow Recipe vibe, okay? But it's much thinner than, not Glow Recipe, L'Oreal Glotion. It's going to give that glow, but it's not going on as thick as L'Oreal Glotion. Not to say that L'Oreal Glotion is a thick product, because it's not. It's just because this particular type of bronzer is marketed as a serum, and I've already, cut it with a moisturizer. So it's even going to go on even more sort of like, you know, less bronzy, but yet still with this really, really intense kind of glow and wet gloss look. This is what I would wear. Did you hear my voice crack? Thank you for everyone that has been wishing me like get well, because I did get sick on vacation, as I noted in this video when I was like at the post office with a fever trying to do mail outs. I did, you know, I'm feeling a lot better. Like I feel like I almost even have my voice back. Now my face is just really, 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 really wet. Okay. It is, this needs to dry down. This needs to dry down a little bit. So the thing that's pretty cool about this little serum here, I'm not saying I'm going to run out and buy it because I love my L'Oreal Glotion, but it really does, like, it's not an over bronze. Like when I first started experimenting with the bronzers, it was like way too much. It looked way too fake, but I don't feel like I'm looking super fake. And that's one of my goals, not to be jaundice face, not to be clown face, not to look fake, not to look like I'm a tryhard. You know, I don't got the full beat. I never have. I just try to accentuate like the natural, organic, you know, vibe that I have going on. That's what I've always done with my makeup, even when I had so much younger skin and I could have really been out there making some beats. I just passed. It just wasn't me. I'm just not comfortable with all of that going on. But I do like this glow. It's not over the top. All right, going in with my Natasha Denona concealer that came right before I went on vacation, and I did not bring it on vacation with me because I was waiting to pull the trigger on this because it gets such good reviews, and I do like it because it gives some coverage, but yet like it's not full coverage, and it blends in well, and I just feel like it gives me a nice brightness to my face. But I did not bring it on vacation because I'm always like, what if they lose my luggage? Or what if I leave something in a hotel room? And guess what happened? My luggage was lost for multiple days. And thankfully, it was retrieved, thankfully. But, you know, and the airline's willing to, you know, if you're ever in this case, you know, they say, oh, if you have to repurchase anything, make sure you save your receipts, you do the claim and all that jazz. But I mean, you can't, like when you have a collection, like I'm sure everybody does, of their faves, and you're going on vacation and maybe you want to like bring some of your faves with. You're not like me, like who's already manifesting a worst case scenario, like I'm going to lose one of my hero products by leaving it in a hotel room, or I'm going to, you know, lose it generally speaking, or the airlines are going to lose it or whatever. And you bring your stuff, and what if they can't find it? What if they can't find your bag? Like some of my hero products that I've been collecting are just, they would be just the biggest bummer to replace. Honestly, they would. So, so I've been, when I pack for my makeup stuff, I tend to bring a few of my hero products, and then, but my super faves, more expensive products like this particular concealer, I leave at home. Like what I brought, and I already showed you guys, I brought these tiny little from Tarte creaseless creamy sort of concealer is what I brought with me on vacay, because I was like, well, I really do like them, but they're not full size. This is the Merit stick. Merit is, like, speaking of a nice, clean, like, beauty brand, Merit. And they give a free, nice little corduroy bag with purchase. But so yeah, no big loss for me. I had my stuff not been retrieved, but I'm glad it was. My goodness. So just a tiny bit of that to warm up the face. And I do want to show you the blush on, and then I do want to set everything with, this is the SAIE, which I'm not a big fan of this brand. Not a big fan of this brand. I don't actually know why I bought this. It's bad, guys. But I'm kind of glad I did. It's pigmented. You're gonna see, like, look, there's instant there's instant pop of color. And you got to be careful with it, because I was finding the first couple of times I used it, I was dragging it too far down my cheek. And, you know, they always say, like, you kind of want to, like, blend up when you got the vintage skin, right? You don't want to drag your face down. So I just get a little, I like that there's a little, that there is something, some pigment to it, that it gives me that instant flush. I can take what's, you know, what I stole from my cheek, and I can rub it on the tip of my nose, on my chin, on my forehead, around my lids, and get that monochromatic look that I really like. So I think I'm digging it. I dig the prep and set. So it looks a little wet, right? Maybe you're like, maybe she looks a little shiny. So let's just go in. Let's go in with the LYS. And what are we going to use? Charlotte, let's use this brush. I don't know. This is from Blush Brush. I don't know where I got this from. I don't know. I have so many brushes. I love all my brushes, but I'm never quite sure. We're just going to brush it on. Well, there are some that I am quite sure about, like my Hollywood complexion brush from Charlotte Tilbury. I pulled that out not knowing if I was how I was gonna blend out that SAIE, I don't know how you say it. You know, this is a really great stamping brush, but I ended up just using the little elf pad. So I'm just gonna go all around. We're gonna see, am I taking away the shine? Am I getting a little blur? I think so. Look at that. You can still see that shine there, but I really took to that cheek there, and trying to get this, like, it's not a super fluffy, it's not an oversized fluffy brush, but, like, you know, you get these wide circular motions with a fluffy brush. The larger the fluffy brush, the more, like, obviously real estate you're going to cover on your face, but that's how you're getting rid of your edges, and you're like really blurring stuff out. That looks really nice. I'm not going to do much else, honestly. I am going to set, I'm going to go in now, this solve around the lip line area. The thing about putting the lip mask on, and you should do it when you're like prepping to get ready, just to like give your lips like that extra little, you know, treatment, is that when I'm going to go in to do my lip liner, it's still a little bit, what's the word I want? I don't know, glossed, and the lip liner won't stick as well to it. So let's fix that. Let's put a little bit of this powder right on the lip area and just get that ready. Get it ready. Maybe I even locked in moisture. Going in with my Anywhere Caffeine Makeup Forever lip liner, which did, I know, I'm just like making a mess, which did make the trip, because I have it in the minis. I would have been sad, if anything, if I would have lost it and never gotten it back, but I do have the minis. Let's go in with my L'Oreal number 800. This is the best drugstore nude you're gonna find out there. You know what I want to do too? I just want to give a little bit of pop of color on the inside there. My face, nothing is pilled. Nothing has pilled. All this different product that we've gone and put on my face, none of it's pilled. I do feel like I need a brush of something on my lids. I'm going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury All Over Face palette, and I'm just going to take her blush, this nice little color powder mauve blush, and I'm just going to dust my lids with it, and that's all I'm going to do. Where's my extra fluffy brush that still has a little bit of the LIS setting powder? All right, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you are well. I hope your family's well. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm looking forward to sharing my Fab Fit Fun and, oh my goodbye, Mario. And my Charlotte Tilbury Love Look bag. Can't you wait? The mystery awaits. Take care.